Officials continue to investigate yesterday's central fire. Observatory considers issuing the number 3 signal tomorrow evening. And thousands take part in No Kings protest in U.S. and Europe. Hello and welcome to TVB News. I'm Melissa Hekalea. 4 people were injured after a number 3 alarm fire broke out in the Chinachem Tower in Central yesterday. Among the injured, a 23-year-old remains in critical condition. This as the Fire Services Department continues to investigate the cause of the blaze. Timothy Lee reports.
Scores of fire services personnel could be seen on site, continuing with their investigation into what caused the fire in Central yesterday. A few of them entered units within the damaged structure to find out more about the situation. Parts of the building's exterior were blackened after the blaze, but the upper floors were largely untouched. Nearby trees were not spared, with much of the street littered with burnt tree branches. Footage provided by a viewer showed some of the most intense moments of yesterday's fire. The man who captured the scene said he thought he heard several explosions inside the building, adding that he saw fireballs raining down from the sky. Authorities subsequently put out the blaze at around 9 p.m. yesterday, while a portion of the scaffolding was engulfed in flames at the peak of the fire. Li Kwangsing, chairman of the Hong Kong Institute of Safety Practitioner, stressed that most of the scaffolding used in the city must fulfill the fireproof requirements of the Labor Department. He added that it is extremely difficult for bamboo used in scaffolding to catch fire, noting that such cases could be caused by cigarettes left behind by construction workers or construction methods that require the use of fire. Lee suggested those in the construction sector to strengthen patrols on construction sites owing to the dry weather expected over the next few months. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
The observatory will consider issuing the strong wind signal number 3 on Monday evening. The signal will replace the strong monsoon signal, which will be raised later today. Mimo Singhai reports.
Tsim Sha Tsui harbourfront was filled with locals and tourists on a Sunday afternoon. Many were dressed in summer clothing, but cooler days are expected to arrive in the city this week. The observatory says an intense northeast monsoon will affect southern China in the upcoming few days. Meanwhile, tropical cyclone Fengshen is forecast to enter within 800 kilometers of Hong Kong tonight. It will move across the central and northern parts of the South China Sea on Monday, edging closer to the coast of Guangdong. The observatory says Fengshen will then turn southwestwards and weaken on Tuesday. Under the effect of the northeast monsoon and Fengshen, residents should expect the weather to be rainy and windy in the next few days. Temperatures will drop to around 19 degrees Celsius in the urban areas and a couple of degrees lower in the New Territories between Tuesday and Thursday. Mamos 9, TVB News.
Overseas, large crowds of protesters have marched and rallied in cities across the United States for No Kings demonstrations, decrying what participants see as the government's swift drift into authoritarianism under President Donald Trump. Trump's Republican Party has disparaged the demonstrations as Hate America rallies, but in many places the events looked more like street parties. Tracy Furness has more.
Scenes in Chicago today, hundreds of people on the streets with a clear message. No Kings, hands off Chicago. One banner reading, resist fascism. And in Michigan, similar scenes.
More people are awakened, shall we say woke, to what the hell is going on in this country.
This is not a Hate America rally. This is a Love America rally.
And people also came out in the country's capital, looking more like a street party, but the message was still somber.
I've been to multiple rallies in the 25 years I've lived here. Always carry banners, you know, or signs, often humorous. But for the whole week, I've listened to Republican leadership call me a terrorist. It's despicable. This is America. I disagree with their politics, but I don't believe that they don't love this country, right? I believe they're misguided. I think they're power hungry. But the vilification of others that this country has adopted right now is just, it's sad, it's pathetic, and it's terrifying.
This is the third mass mobilization since Trump's return to the White House and comes against the backdrop of a government shutdown that not only has closed federal programs and services, but is testing the core balance of power as an aggressive executive confronts Congress and the courts in ways that organizers warn are a slide towards American authoritarianism.
We will not move toward authoritarianism in America. We, the people, will rule.
Meanwhile, people have come out showing their anti-Trump sentiments in countries including France and Spain. This is Trump has been spending the weekend at his Florida retreat, Mar-a-Lago. His only comment, "They say they're referring to me as a king. I'm not a king." Tracy Furness, TVB News.
Israel has carried out airstrikes in Rafah in southern Gaza after accusing Hamas of a bold violation of the ceasefire, according to media reports. Hamas is accused of attacking factions in Gaza backed by Israel. This after Israel on Friday hit a bus in Gaza, killing 11 people, including many children. Both sides have accused the other of violating the ceasefire. Meanwhile, Israel received 2 more bodies of deceased hostages. Nazvi Karim with more.
2 more bodies said to be deceased hostages arrive in Israel. Both have been identified. One is Ronan Engel from Kibbutz Nir Oz. The other is a Thai national named Sontaya Okarasri. For Palestinians waiting for their dead, there are no names, just numbers. Doctors and family members struggling to identify them. At the Nasser Medical Complex in Khan Yunis, a big screen displays bodies and relatives sit in rows, hoping to find any evidence that their loved ones may be among the 135 bodies so far returned by Israel. Looking at faces, scars, and even items of clothing. Nara Zohra found her father, who went missing during the war. I saw on the news photos that reminds me of my father's clothes, she said. We wanted to see it for real, so we came today and we were able to verify from clothes and marks on his body. Nasser's head of forensics, Ahmed Dair, said some cases show evidence of hands cuffed, bruises and gunshots in the chest and the head. Israel has rejected allegations of systematic abuse of detainees. Israel has also demanded Hamas speed up the delivery of bodies of dead hostages. Hamas says they are hampered by rubble and that some bodies are in areas controlled by the Israel military. These 8 trucks have made it to Gaza City. Israel said on Saturday that Gaza's sole crossing in Rafah would be closed until further notice, tying it to Hamas's release of deceased hostages. This after the Palestinian embassy in Egypt said it would reopen on Monday for people returned to Gaza. Hamas has urged mediators to increase the flow of aid. The United Nations said almost 340 trucks have delivered humanitarian aid since the ceasefire began. Israel Gaza Agency, Kogat, reports close to 1,700 trucks, including commercial and bilateral deliveries. The United Nations Development Fund, meanwhile, has launched large-scale operations to remove debris from Gaza City's main roads in an effort to reopen key transport routes and provide access to essential services such as hospitals, schools, and damaged infrastructure.
There's about 55 to 60 million tons of debris that needs to be removed, similar to what is happening here behind me. The size is, if you build a 12-meter wall around Central Park and fill that with rubble, that's about the amount of rubble that needs to be removed.
Nazvi Karim, TVB News.
Iran says restrictions related to a nuclear deal signed a decade ago no longer apply. Tehran called for diplomacy and for the same treatment as other non-nuclear weapon states as it officially ended its commitments. David Garrett reports.
Today, 10 years seems a long way back. Vienna, the venue in 2015, as a new vision for Iran seemed to be taking shape. The Obama administration Secretary of State John Kerry, along with Iran, China, Britain, France, Germany and Russia, inking Resolution 2231. Tehran would allow in weapons inspectors as nuclear restrictions were eased. In exchange, international sanctions were dropped. Iran now officially declaring the deal dead a decade on. The Foreign Ministry said the US unilateral withdrawal in 2018 and the failure of Britain, France and Germany to honour commitments seriously undermined the agreement, adding any restrictions related to its nuclear programme under the resolution cease to apply and any mechanisms are considered terminated. The agreement officially expired but has been in disarray for years. Donald Trump pulled out during his first term. Iran responded by stepping up its nuclear programme as talks to resurrect the agreement floundered. In his second term, Trump sent bunker-busting bombers to attack Iran's underground nuclear sites in June as Israel and Iran fought a 12-day war. Trump says Iran must not have a nuclear weapon. Iran were furious that the International Atomic Energy Agency failed to condemn the strikes. President Masoud Pezeshkian refused to cooperate with the IAEA. Iran insists its program is peaceful and it is being treated unfairly. But the announcement of the formal end to the old deal could build a foundation for something new. Tehran saying it is still open and committed to diplomacy. Trump's envoys went to Oman in April for mediated talks, and Trump himself said only this week he wants peace with Iran, but the ball is in their court. European powers have expressed a willingness to negotiate again. Beijing says all parties must show mutual respect and Iran should be allowed to pursue peaceful nuclear energy. David Garrett, TVB News.
Still ahead, China accuses U.S. spy agency of hacking into National Time Service Center. Parents group urges no phones for teens until 14. And tourists welcomed into traditional Xinjiang homes. Welcome back. President Xi Jinping congratulated Cheng Li-wen, who was elected chairperson of the Chinese Kuomintang Party. Cheng won the election in Taiwan with just over 50% of the vote. Xi expressed his expectations for the Communist Party and Kuomintang to strengthen their common political foundation and unite the vast majority of people in Taiwan to deepen exchange and cooperation, boost common development, and advance national reunification. Cheng expressed gratitude in her reply to Xi's message. The Ministry of State Security says it has uncovered a major U.S. cyber attack targeting the National Time Service Center. The ministry stated in its WeChat account that since March 2022, the U.S. National Security Agency has been exploiting vulnerabilities in some National Time Service Centers' employees' mobile phones to attack the devices and acquire sensitive information. The ministry also claimed that the U.S. spy agency has repeatedly used stolen login credentials to hack into the center's computers since April 2023. The National Time Service Center, located in Xi'an, is a facility that provides high-precision services for the government, civil society, and various industries. Beijing has taken measures to protect against the hacks and has undertaken preventive steps at the center, according to the ministry. For the first time, the police have discovered a drug trafficking syndicate allegedly hiding suspected cocaine on the seabed. 3 people were arrested. In the operation, 69 bricks of suspected cocaine were seized. Each brick weighs around 1 kilogram, with an overall estimated market value of around $42 million. All the drugs were wrapped in layers of waterproof tape and placed in large waterproof bags. A batch of diving equipment was also seized, including wetsuits and flippers, as well as oxygen tanks and underwater propulsion devices. Police said they discovered a drug trafficking syndicate suspected of smuggling drugs into Hong Kong and storing them in nearshore waters off Qingyi Island. 2 local men and a Brazilian man who had entered Hong Kong as a tourist were arrested. A parent-led group says children should only be provided with a phone at the age of 14. Look Up Hong Kong says over 45% of school children spend at least 2 hours on smartphones each day. Mimo Singhai reports.
The group interviewed 651 parents of local school children aged between 6 and 16 in July. More than 45% of children spend 2 or more hours on their phones every day. This while 34% children take part in one outside school activity each week. While most parents plan to give their children a phone at 13 years old, the survey discovered the average age that they received one was 9, with peer pressure being a major contributor. More than 80% of parents reported conflicts with their children over phone uses. The group recommends 4 methods to tackle children's smartphone usage, including delaying phone ownership until 14 years old, postponing social media use to 16, and removing phones at schools.
Children develop healthy mental and physical development in a real-world setting, right, with face-to-face socialization, all their cognitive, motor, language development happens in a healthier way without smartphone use.
Make the device as boring as possible for themselves. I want to show them that it's a tool, not a distraction. Other things that we advise parents to do is to make time every day where you can be device-free. Other areas might be for parents to demonstrate that they're enjoying and participating in activities that don't involve their smartphones.
The group has so far hosted presentations in 13 schools, providing education programs and workshops for parents to help them handle children's smartphone habits. Memos 9, TVB News.
Xinjiang is home to diverse ethnic minorities, many of whom open their homes to tourists, offering a first-hand experience of local culture. Sakura Ip reports from Xinjiang.
In this old town of Ili, dancers in traditional attire from the Uyghur, Uzbek and Kazakh communities greet travelers with lively music and dance. Nearby, a more than 200-year-old mosque from the Channel era showcases unique Chinese architectural features. Visitors can ride horse-drawn carriages through this blue town, where residents welcome them into their homes for an authentic taste of their exotic lifestyle. Mr. Mahmoud and his wife, Uyghur residents, spend their days hosting guests in their grapevine-covered yard, offering raisins, nuts and fruits. During peak season in summer, plenty of tourists sign up for workshops to make local delicacy like jams and naan bread. A modest entry fee of 10 to 30 yuan supports the family, helping them renovate their home and send 3 children to university.
During the home visit, the host will run different workshops for visitors. For ladies, you can learn how to draw your eyebrow with local herbs.
In addition to cultural experiences, the stunning Siam Lake, the highest alpine cold water lake in Xinjiang, attracts visitors. Locals remember that fish were absent until the late 1990s, when species were introduced from Russia. Foreign chambers of commerce see the combination of natural beauty and rich culture as a draw for international tourists.
Sichuan Airlines is starting to fly a non-stop service from Auckland to Chengdu very soon. And it's only a short hop from Chengdu to Urumqi, for example. So there would be an opportunity for straight-through travel from New Zealand.
He also notes the potential for business opportunities between Xinjiang and New Zealand. Sakura Ip, TVB News, Xinjiang.
More than half a century has passed since the discovery of the terracotta warriors guarding the grave of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, in Xi'an. This is new technology used at the landmark museum in the past few years, provides visitors the experience to view the ceramic army in extra detail and the opportunity to restore their very own terracotta warriors. Timothy Lee tells us more.
The eternal guards of the nation's first imperial leader have become some of the most iconic figures representing Chinese heritage. Despite the solemnity of their role, the facial features of the clay soldiers come in all varieties, from the brave and stern warrior to a wide grin. Discovered by farmers in 1974 in Xi'an, the Terracotta Army were created to guard the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor and founder of the Qin dynasty. With well over 8,000 artifacts unearthed from the site, the landmark now boasts an assortment of ceramic war chariots, horses, and soldiers.
我们是一个开放性的博物馆。
Tian Jing, the deputy chairperson of the Qin Shi Huang Mausoleum Museum, stressed the landmark celebrates its openness, allowing visitors to watch archaeologists restore the terracotta treasures to their original state. To this day, the site remains a top attraction for foreign visitors.
Oh, I thought it was absolutely amazing, and it's wonderful to see them being restored.
I think it's a tremendous archaeological site. I think what China has done with it is terrific.
This as the museum introduced new technology in a bid to enhance the tourist experience in recent years. Representatives from the museum noted they would scan the artifacts in order to grant visitors the chance to view them from a 360-degree perspective, which presents the terracotta warrior's hair and armor in much further detail. The museum also hopes to give visitors an interactive experience, providing them with miniature soldiers for restoration work. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.